Sign up for Extra Tug now, home of the new exclusive Satan content. And also, if you don't do it, I'm going to make sure Trump gets a third term. Or if you do it, Trump gets a third term. It depends on your politics. Either way, just sign up.
Hey guys, few rules today. Do not comment on my hair. It's a new thing I'm trying. Pretty happy with it. I asked the barber to absolutely my shit up, and he obliged to the nth degree. I gave him probably $4,000 for this cut. Haha, just kidding. This is how my hair always is, but when I wash it with shampoo, it becomes a big puff bag, and I look like a little Swedish boy if it comes down to the sides, and otherwise I look like Justin Bieber. It's a hard life having a big-ass cowlick in the front of your head. The other rule today is that Abby, cat shown here, is a little wild girl today, and she's being a real problem, and I wish I could put her in a box until I was done filming. But I can't, and she's just so darn cuddly. So she's gonna be around a lot in this episode, so you're gonna have to sack up. Oh my god, it's a costume episode. I gotta put a costume on. I'm so sick of the goddamn spooky month. Alright, well, the hair problem is solved. That's good. Anyway, it's spooky month, and I thought this is gonna be an issue. I thought a good way to deal with spooky month would be to go back to an old, reliable, and do the 2-second horror story. 2-sentence horror stories. I made one episode talking about ones that I got from Reddit, and a second episode talking about ones that you guys wrote, and a lot of them were god-awful, and a lot of them needed a little bit of work, and a lot of them were actually really good. Not that that was fun. You guys had fun. On that video, you guys commented a bunch more. So we're gonna look at those now. This is a nightmare. This is an overstimulation nightmare. I hate Halloween. I love Halloween, but I hate Halloween. So all that being said, I had Angela once again whip up a whole list of 2-sentence horror stories that you guys have written, and I get to grade them on a scale of 1 to 10 or 5 or whatever's on the Big Tug scale today, and let you know how much I appreciate your dumb... Oh my god, this cat. How much I appreciate your writing styles. Some of you are good at it. I don't know. So we're gonna jump right into it. This one is from Typical Toaster TT9837. Does YouTube give you 4 numbers at the end of your username? Because everyone does that. And I find it obnoxious. I find it gross. A good username doesn't have 4 numbers at the end of it, only 2 maximum. Make your usernames clean. God damn. Today I was diagnosed with dementia. Today, I was diagnosed with dementia. Okay, it's a dementia joke. Losing your grandmother is not funny, Toaster. It's actually really upsetting. You wanna get up there real quick? Yeah, just keep it casual. It did get 3.3 thousand likes though, so obviously you know what you're doing to some degree. People still find this joke funny. I don't know though. I think dementia is in the same vein of like fentanyl. You know what I mean? Like whenever I see a username or a joke using fent as the basis, the foundation of the funnies, it's a little played out. Not really my bag. Now that being said, if 3,000 people liked it, I'm the one who's wrong. I'm the comedy purist piece of shit who thinks he's funnier than everybody else, and that's my problem. So we'll give it an 8 out of 10 in terms of what you were trying to accomplish there, which was being an asshole. Up next, we have Rich1.303. Oh, a 303 fan. I don't know. How did they do that? I don't know. 303. Does anyone remember that goddamn band? She wants to touch me, whoa! I looked in utter horror as the man took out a gun instead. No more, Mr. Knife Guy. There's a lot of layers to this one. I guess not a lot of layers. You just have to know about the original terrible 3-sentence horror story known as Knife Guy. Now that being said, this is a play on that, but also there's a pun in here, no more Mr. Knife Guy, which is supposed to be no more Mr. Nice Guy. I don't really with puns. I don't. I find them sad and lazy. I've never laughed at a pun out loud. I've never, that's not true. I've laughed at You Gotta Be Kidding Me Right Meow and Leave Me Alone I'm Bushed. So I'm a hypocrite. We'll give this another 8 out of 10 comedy. I mean, what do I know, right? Just try to get a couple chocolates out of you guys. Queasy Films writes, I woke up to my daughter smiling at me from the edge of my bed. I could have sworn she was buried without teeth. Oh, that's upsetting. Oh, this is a good one. This one made me feel bad in my stomach. So, dead daughter, obviously. Dead daughter at the edge of the bed, not a good scenario. I am interested to find out why is your daughter buried without teeth? What situation happens where a child is buried without their teeth? My daughter, she died in a horrible dentistry accident. They just kept plucking away. I do like the fact that now she has teeth, and I'm sure they're all big and scary. So, this did so much with so little, and that's what 2-sentence horror stories are all about. I'm gonna give this one a 9 out of 10. Actually, I'm gonna give this one an 8 out of 10. I'm gonna make the other 2 6 out of 10s because I gave that too much credit. We're sliding scales. Good one, Queasy Films. Genuinely, I have fun with that. Kermit had fun with that. Mar Macbeth writes, people say you die twice. Your last breath and when they put you in the ground. I just wish my last breath had been first. Okay, getting buried alive, pretty spooky, but that is not the saying. The saying is you die twice, your last breath and when someone mentions you for the last time. I believe that's what the saying is. So you started on a rocky path, but gave me a very delicate landing. I mean, getting buried alive is obviously a lot of people's worst fear. I Ooh, I hate that so much. So you got that instinctual fear out of me, but I'm just angry because you don't know you're saying. So I think we'll give you a 6 out of 10. I appreciate the effort though. You're trying to be spooky. None of this trolling posting bullshit. You did your job, so 6 out of 10. Crimson the original writes, I loved seeing her walk in every day after work. Hiding the camera was easier than I expected. Ooh, so you're a pervert. You switched it up on me. I thought this was your delightful girlfriend, but you're actually a creepy pervert. That was fun. That was a good one. Once again, you did a lot with a little. No ampersands. No, not ampersands. That's not the word I'm looking for. Hyphens. What's the one with the period and the comma? Chris, please put that on the screen. No, we'll explain what it is. Don't just put it on the screen. But no commas. You got 2 sentences and you nailed it. You didn't even use the word and, which is an ampersand. So I was kind of correct. Just a good hard misdirection is what I like to see there. I'm going to give that a 9. Another 9. A lot of high ratings today. I'm feeling jovial. Davinator1212 says, I thought it was just a fart, and now I'm doing laundry. And that got okay. Literal post one right there. The one before this about being a creepy little pervert that I thought was written well, 176 likes. This one, 1.1 thousand. Obviously there's a problem in our community right now. If we're going to do this again down below, I don't know if we are going to do this again. I'm probably running out of steam. I'm sure less people are going to see this one, especially with the way I'm dressed. But please try and find people who are putting effort in and not just liking the posters. That being said, farts are always funny, and pooping your pants is always funny. It's literally never not funny when someone poops their pants. So Davinator, I'll give you a 6. A lot of 6s today. Just for the bare minimum. You gave us the bare minimum. No, it. 5. You, Dave. Bone Mellow writes, after dying, I learned you still feel everything. I began to regret telling my family to cremate me. Damn. I don't know how you're talking to me in the story though. You're dead. A little bit of a plot hole there. But yeah, you got two different things there. You got being buried alive, like being not able to move, locked in syndrome, which is terrifying, and being burned to death. I don't know when the pain would stop. A lot of questions I have. And that's what a good story is. 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. 10 out of 10. No, bring it back one. 9 out of 10. I got a little risky there. But I thought that was pretty good. That was definitely, that was a roller coaster. I hate his little tongue that's in my face. It's upsetting me. Sir Cyanide, what a username. The man took a sip out of his margarita in celebration of his 300th birthday. We're already in the strange. We're already in a world of whimsy. This man's been alive for 300 years. If only he knew of the snail beneath his chair. I had a lot of faith. Why is he drinking a margarita? I don't know. I thought this was going to be, I don't know. I hate the snail story. You guys know the snail story. Like, would you take invincibility, but the fact that there's a snail that's chasing you constantly, and if it touches you, you immediately die? Which is a cool concept, but it's lost its meme power at this point. And also, if he's been alive for 300 years, you'd think he would be pretty good about keeping that snail away from them. So he'd be aware that there was a snail under his chair, in my opinion. But maybe he was drinking his last drink, he's lived long enough, and he's decided, let the snail take me, my mortal enemy. Bring me to the great, great abyss. I just don't know why he said margarita. Whatever, it could be any drink. I just think it's very specific to sip a margarita on your 300th birthday. Like, in the story, you think it'd be like sips a Manhattan, sips on his old-fashioned. A margarita that does it have a umbrella in it? It just seems less classy than the situation is asking for. 6 out of 10. No, 5 out of 10. I don't actually like it. I'm just being nice. Dormir 2072 says, every day I feel it crawling up my throat, scratching, scraping. I swallow it back down. I'll never forgive myself if it escapes. I don't like the fact that you used a lot of commas, and I swallow it back down as a sentence of its own. That's a sentence. You can't just throw a comma there and say it's not a new sentence. So that was at least a three sentence horror story. Holy shit. That being said, I love this. Like, one, that it's like that idea of something like a centipede trying to crawl out of your mouth is terrifying. And also the fact that he said, I'll never forgive myself if it escapes. There's so much lore there. Like, what kind of up demon are you keeping from the world and just suffering because of it? I love that. That got 41 likes. That's the first 10 out of 10, I would say. If it's original, first 10 out of 10. I love that. Amazing, Dormir. You have a future in writing very, very short stories. Proud of you. Lost Warden says, what's so scary about this 2-sentence horror story? It's not actually 2 sentences, it's 3. 1 out of 10. 0 out of 10 for your bitch ass. Sarah Luna writes, an old woman chased a child into the cornfield while screaming and brandishing a butcher knife. Already a sticky situation. You never want to be that child. You probably never want to be that old woman. This is nonfiction. My great-grandmother literally tried to kill my dad. Huh. In a cornfield? I want to know where you're from. Damn, though. That sucks, Sarah. Sorry. Obviously, your dad made it out. It's all about legs in a murder situation. You don't got to fight back. You just got to run. You got to be faster than the last guy. You know what I mean? You did a pretty good job. Good for him. I'm sorry. I don't know if this is actually like a good 210s horror story, though, because it's real. It's not a horror story. It's a real thing that happened. You can't just be like, tonight on the 6 o'clock news, 3 men died. That is scary, but it's real. 5 out of 10. I don't know. I feel bad for your trauma. Little Big Josiah says, we finally got the lab rat to think what we wanted to. Right now, it thinks it's reading a 2-sentence horror story. No way I just got called a rat and didn't see it coming. No way I just called a rat like that. I don't know if this was tailored to me because you guys call me Rat Boy all the time, but if it wasn't tailored to me, this is a fantastic 2-sentence horror story. Just breaking the third wall and you're actually a little lab rat in a box with its eyes all up looking at computer screens when you just think you're a dumb ass in a New York basement wearing a Kermit hat. That's good horror, baby. That's good horror. I appreciate that. 10 out of 10. That's a 10 out of 10 from your boy Big Tug. Claire Basie says, one night a snowman popped up into the field behind our house. Once the weather got warmer, we finally found out what happened to that missing child. This actually happens a lot with snowplows. Did you know that? Little kids are playing on the side of the street and a snowplow will come and they'll get covered in the snow and they can't find them for weeks until the snow thaws and they're just a dead kid on your front lawn. I don't know if that's funny, but it is scary. 8 out of 10. Now the rest of these are going to be from the Extra Tug website, which you should go and check out. It's $4 a month. You get a bunch of extra attention from me, your sexy Kermit the Frog. You get new videos every week. It's a whole thing. You get your name at the end of the video. It's a whole thing. Tinkle, an 11-month member, says, I felt lighter than usual. Colder too. Where's my penis? So over on Extra Tug, I don't know if you could tell, but there's less coherent mentality. More mental illness is what I'm trying to say. What does this mean? What are you trying to say? Lighter and colder? Where's my penis? I'm not even going to give that a rating. I'm worried for you. Bleach flavored tampon, my God, 2-month member says, I found a picture of myself sleeping in my phone. I live alone. I feel like there's at least one Reddit post of that happening. There's at least one where a girl records herself sleeping and here's a guy in the background, which is one of the scariest things I've ever seen. So this is a little basic, but good enough. 5 out of 10. Spooky. Definitely spooky. The non-binary trash gremlin says, I don't understand why there's so many speed bumps in school zones. I swear there's 5 more today than there were yesterday. That really is, I don't know. It's depending if you're a child or not. You're just hitting kids with a car, and I think that's hilarious. Personally, I think kids getting hit by cars is one of the funniest things that can happen. Don't take that out of context. I'm making a joke. Regardless, 7 out of 10 because it's a post, but it made me giggle. Canadian Bacon says, alternatively, I'm just a man on the internet named Tucker, and now everyone has heard me refer to 911 operator as a 911 operator. Yeah, and on my last 2-sentence horror story video, I did say 911 operator several times instead of 911 operator. 911, what's your emergency? 911, what's your emergency? I think my mom is trying to kill me. Probably old enough to know that his dad is a 911 phone operator. And you guys gave me a lot of for that, and that's deserved. That's a moron-ass move. When you're just talking, sometimes things happen that are terrible. Like if my friend was here and heard me say that, they'd call me out immediately, but I didn't realize what was happening. I was just reading on the screen. It's hard for me to read in the first place. So 0 out of 10 for this guy for making me self-conscious. Irie says, I was in the kitchen eagerly carving the turkey for tonight's Thanksgiving dinner, a smile on my face. Then I woke up from my sleepwalking stint standing in our newborn baby's nursery. Okay, I can't even complete reading that because I'm probably going to get demonetized. That is a crazy one, dog. Holy that's a good, I didn't see that twist coming at all. I thought there was going to be a monster in the turkey. Take this hat off. I'm over it. We just talked about a dead baby. That's incredible. Wow. That's an upsetting visual. 10 out of 10. Imagine waking up from that. That's a big bummer. Fritz Wolf writes, who ate the last slice of chocolate cake? I yelled into the darkness of my kitchen. It wasn't me, said a spectral, floating smudge of chocolate frosting. 0 out of 10, my guy. If a ghost ate chocolate cake in front of me, I'd suddenly become no longer afraid of ghosts. That's the least threatening thing a creature could do. If a zombie ate a piece of chocolate cake, I'd be like, well, that's a silly one. This is not spooky at all. I'm sorry you lost your chocolate cake. Kit Star Child writes, meet my grandma. She turns 100 today. You'll get used to the smell. Don't worry. Ooh, a dead rotting corpse in your house that you're showing off to your pals. That's not good. I do like that though. I love, I don't know if that's the movie Psycho or whatever, but just like people who can't let go of a relative and they just keep them dead. That always is a cool story. Not cool for everyone involved, but it's always a cool situation just to see the human mentality on that, the inability to handle grief. So 8 out of 10, that's fun. Cuddly Calypso writes, I politely asked my roommate to stop slamming the door last night because he was always waking me up. This morning, he brought a priest to evict me. The dick. Oh, so you're the Spectre. You're the Banshee. You're the bad boy knocking things around. That's a cool 180. That's a cool 180. I had fun with that one. Why are you being a mean ghost? Be a Casper. They should all be Caspers. 8 out of 10. Very good. Bell writes, I checked Big Tug notification in public. So yeah, it's necrophilia time. We did talk about necrophilia over on Extra Tug, and it was a up video. Yeah. And finally, last but not least, radicalized toast. I woke up covered in blood again. I should have never gone to that hypnotherapist. Yeah, I don't know. He's probably playing on the fact that I've talked about it before, but hypnosis is crazy that we all act like it's normal. You're telling me there's a dude out there that swings a clock in front of people's faces and all of a sudden they lose all sense of humanity and become a chicken? They don't remember their names? They can't count to 6 anymore? You're literally rotting people's brains. That's magic. We're trusting them with our lives when we go in there trying to learn how to stop smoking cigarettes. You could have robbed a bank in that time. I'll give that a 10 out of 10. Hypnotherapists are scary scammers. I don't trust them at all. All right, thank you guys for watching. I don't know where we're at in Vaguely Spooky Month. We might be almost done, so happy Halloween. Enjoy your candy, and check out extratug.com if you... I already gave you the pitch, but let the names run right now. If you have any good 2-sentence horror stories, let me know in the comments down below, and please do not post. For the love of God, I'm sick of this post. Give me an actually spooky thing, like the guy a baby. Once again, I don't know if I could say that. Like, comment, and subscribe to all of those things, the absolute dorkass, and thank you for watching. Abby off, so... don't gotta worry about her anymore. See you guys.